Sawadee krap. Many people think that being creative is a natural born talent. Well, I think that is so not true, because today I'd like to share with you how an average intelligent guy like me can also generate genius ideas anytime, anywhere, and once I start generate ideas, it can be non-stop like a river flow. All it takes is a special secret technique that can trigger your mind and trigger your imagination, and today I'm gonna reveal all to you for free. Well, this is gonna be a very long video, so take some time to watch it. If not, save the video. Check this out.
The special technique to generate numerous solutions and ideas is called mazes, also known as MACES. Each of these alphabet represents an implication. Now let me explain what each alphabet means. M here stands for magnify or minify, which means taking an existing object and make it either larger or smaller, or shorter or longer. Now let me give you an example. Let's say a double-decker bus is an example of making an object or vehicle larger by adding another layer on top to carry more passengers. That's the example of magnify. Let's talk about minify. Let's take another example. The changes from the radio cassette player, or some call it the boombox. Changing the boombox into a Walkman is another form of minify. That is to make an existing object smaller and smaller for conveniency and also to solve a particular problem. Well, later on, the creation of iPod mini further reduces the size that can fit into our pocket. That's minify, and yet it also magnify and enlarge the storage space to save more than 1,000 songs. Now, an iPod mini is one very innovative and genius idea that uses both magnify and minify application. Next, letter A stands for adapt to a different context, which involves taking an existing object and adapt it to a different situation or environment. Now, for example, the GoPro camera has been developed from a normal camera into a sports action camera, which is able to be mounted into various places with extra durability to handle tough situation and environment. This is one example of taking a common normal camera and adapt it to a different context or a different environment. Now, another example is like the online university. Online university is another idea to convert a normal classroom lecture into interactive online media so that students can attend classes anytime, anywhere, within their comfort of their home and conveniency. Now, the letter C, moving on, stands for combination. That is to combine two or more objects or two or more features into one. Well, one of the most common solution generation method, for example, the smartphone. The genius smartphone is an example of combining a telephone, an internet navigator, and an iPod into one device. The exact same thing that was presented by Steve Jobs on stage when he launched the first iPhone. Another example is the fax machine that combines the telephone with the photocopy machine. Combining these two, it will become a fax machine. So we can use this technique to combine two solutions or ideas into one. Now, the letter E stands for eliminate, which is the complete opposite of combination. For example, a cordless vacuum cleaner eliminates wire for better maneuverability and also conveniency. Well, without the wire, we can reach through difficult places. Hence, there are many electronic devices today are going wireless. This is one example of how you can eliminate something to make things better. The smart wallet is also another ideal example of eliminating the need of using cash payment, so we do not need to withdraw and stop by ATM machine every single time when we are running out of cash. And finally, last but not least, is the letter S, stands for substitute. That is to substitute an existing solution, object, features or idea with another better one. Now let me give you an example. Have you remember one of these things during our high school? The blackboard and white chalk. It's actually very unhealthy and dusty because children can easily inhale those dust and get sick. So the solution was soon later replaced by another solution. That is to substitute by using whiteboard with non-permanent marker. Well, using whiteboard and non-permanent marker, we do not have dust, but however, it's still messy because sometimes there are ink leakage. And later on, this solution was substituted again with what we call electronic marker board. Well, this idea never requires to refill your marker, so you do not need to add extra ink into your pen. And then furthermore, the content on the electronic board can be captured and saved and then share it to others using social media or the internet. This is one very good example of how you can substitute a current solution with a better one. Congratulations, you have understand what MACS stands for and you have learned the technique of generating great solution ideas. Now what you need to do is to state the problem that you want to solve or problem your customer or client is frustrated about. Then try to use either one of these elements in MACS or MACES to generate a solution. Again, there is no strict rule to be applied here. You are absolutely free to use whatever combinations or multiplications of MACS that you can ever imagine. The sky is the limit. You can magnify and minify at the same time like an iPod idea, or you can combine two elements of features, then eliminate the things that doesn't works well and substitute with another one, or even apply all 5 elements of MACS.
Oh yeah, one more thing that I need to emphasize is that when you generate ideas and when you start to brainstorm, do not be a perfectionist. Do not let time, money, resources or any other constraints tie you down or bog you down to be creative. All you need to do is think that you have unlimited potential, you have unlimited money, time and also resources in the world. What are you going to do? What kind of ideas do you think you can come out? Make it as outrageous as possible, because if you can let your imagination run wild, then the real ideas will come out. It's okay to be crazy, it's okay to be funny. Just go ahead, because sometimes a stupid idea can help you to inspire you to come up with better, greater ideas. It starts with sometimes stupid, funny and ideas that doesn't make sense at the beginning. If you be judgmental and you start criticizing at the beginning stage, you actually start stopping yourself from moving advance forward, from brainstorming, from thinking outside the box. So I hope this entire video gives you enough value. On the following week and following days, I will continue to deliver more high value content. Do stay tuned in my Facebook page. So it's John signing off. See you. Ciao.